Yo, what is up guys, MrPantaloons here with Omnia, and it looks like we have a new event banner featuring Palom, Edge and Vanille. And we can see the weapons here. They do have 35 CPs for each one of them. These are the rates. Now, the first impressions for this banner, I want to say that I like Edge and Vanille a little bit, but I'm not really invested in either of them. And in terms of power, I don't think any of these characters are worth it in my opinion. So this banner is 3 no's to me, so overall a no. But anyway, let's talk about these characters real quick and see some of their strengths and weaknesses. Now Edge, he also got some buffs recently, so gotta keep that in mind once we're going through this. But starting off with Palom, the new character, Black Crystal and Staff user. So even if we don't get a staff from the banner, we will still be able to use a different staff, unlike the last character, which was Kuja. And if we didn't get a weapon for him, then you are out of luck, right? You're not going to be able to have fun or anything with him with just a 1-star weapon. Alright, Palom abilities. So Palom, he's got a self buff, Bluff, which also has 2 better versions with plus and a plus, and he also gets Brave plus. And his other skill is Dissidia's Ice Crystal, and this one as well turns into 2 better versions. This one is an ice attack, and you also get a dual cast, which is basically an HP plus that is Brave plus HP, or I should say the HP turns into dual cast, so that is a Ice Brave plus HP right there. So the first skill, Bluff, he has 3 uses on that one, 3 uses on this one. This one goes up to 4 with his 35 CP. On Bluff, he gets some Brave Battery based on the attack. He gets Brave plus for a number of turns depending on his Bluff strength. And then he also raises his own attack. Now the attack can go up to 50% on the Bluff plus, provided you do have the 15 CP passive as well. So that is pretty hefty, although it does take quite a while to get there, right? Gotta use this 3 times. The Brave plus, stronger Brave attack, and then the other skill, this one he gains HP, dual cast instead of the HP attack, which is a Brave plus HP, and then he also raises his max bravery and he deals some Ice Brave attack in the process as well. This one gives up to 40% max bravery provided you have the 35 CP, and now the dual cast doesn't hit that hard compared to say Saz's Brave plus HP. Saz can deal or he deals 100% on his HP plus, whereas dual cast for Palom deals 40% or 60% if you have the 35 CP passive, so it is not that strong. However, if you do take advantage of his ice damage, you will deal quite a lot of damage. Also, with the 35 CP, it becomes a Brave plus HP, but for only his final use, so we're gonna see a little bit more on that as we go through his list here. In terms of passives, he's gonna get some action delay, which he needs so he can ramp up his skills. Slight raise max bravery while buff, this one is interesting. He does have a back attack as well, so he's gonna get some more damage off of that one. And then also this one, slight raise brave damage inflicted by Brave plus and dual cast, so even if it's 60%, he will get a little bit more with the 50 passive. I think it's 10%, I'm not actually sure. It's around there though, 10%. And then the gear list. Now the black robe is very nice. It has both of the stats that he synergizes with, so max bravery and attack. Those are gonna scale up with his buffs. The 15 CP raise bravery, gain lower action delay, increase potency, extend duration of Brave plus, increase potency, lower action delay. As you can see, the 15 CP has a lot of stuff on it, so in my opinion, I think to make Palom work, you're gonna need to get the 15 CP passive as well as the 35 weapon. So he is a bit of an investment, but also I don't think he's worth it in terms of power. So I would rather skip Palom if I'm not interested in Edge or Vanille. But if I wanted to get multiple characters, then I would say it would be worth it just to try to get those characters, and then hopefully you get enough weapons for Palom. And then the 35 CP increased potency and more potency and more duration and more potency, and the max use, which turns it into a Brave plus HP for that last one use. So the 35 CP definitely need that one, and then the 15 CP is quite important as well. So that's about it for Palom. Next up we got Edge. He did get some buffs recently, we can see them right here. So he's got his shock uses up to 8, and then his smoke screen up to 3. He also got I believe some buffs on his Eblin's teachings, 2 turns Eblin's teachings. It will now grant him 20% attack and max bravery, I think, but that might be with the 35 CP. Let me see real quick. We got his uses here, shock and smoke. Nothing too crazy, as you can see. He definitely needs some weapons to make him more viable. In terms of passives, does he have anything interesting here? Slight raise bravery after avoiding an enemy attack, that's going to synergize with his smoke. A small amount of bravery, slight raise speed for 1 turn when bravery equals 0. Nothing too crazy here. Gear list, we got Hanzo's gloves, initial bravery, max bravery. Now the 15 CP increases shock's potency. This one gives him a boost of 60%. It goes up from 120 to 180. So it's fairly hefty, but it's still quite a bare bones passive. You get the potency and that is it. But since he has 6 uses of the shock, and now actually this is 6 in 1, but we just saw he had like 8 and 3, right? So it's gonna be more than that. So definitely this one will make it count for him. Then the 35 CP increase smoke max use by 1, so that's gonna be 4, right? Since he has 3 now, 3 plus 1, 4. Raise bravery, gain increased potency of Eblin's teachings, extend duration, grants an AoE provoke for 1 turn. So Eblin's teachings, that's 20% attack and max bravery for 6 turns. So that is also fairly nice. Now, just because of how the game works, Edge doesn't really fit in terms of power, but he can be a fun character. If anything, if you want to play with the Edge, he will be viable at least with his 35. Artifact passives, Mighty Shock. And then finally we got Vanille. Now Vanille is an interesting one. Her abilities Deep Protect and Dispel, they hit for very low damage. Unfortunately, her saving grace is pretty much her Dispel. So if you need a Dispel, Vanille's got you covered on that one, provided you get her 35 CP. Without her 35 CP, man, she is really bad. Her passive abilities here also, she doesn't get anything good here really. She's got prevent KO. She does get some more defense when an enemy is debuffed. And finally with her gear list here, that attack 72 on the rune bracelet actually would be really nice on her. She definitely needs more attack. Now her 15 CP increase the potency of Deep Protect, extend duration, defense down, small attack down for 3 turns. Now the potency on Deep Protect, it goes up from 50 to 80%, so it's a 30% increase. Not a lot at all. Now the defense down is a 40%, which is really nice. Attack down is a mere 10%, and they both last for 3 turns. So even though the 40% is nice, it still lasts for only 3 turns. So I don't really like that, and you also have to keep spamming it, and since it hits for 80%, and that just doesn't feel worth it to me. So I don't think that saves her. But the 35 CP can make her a good potential dispeller if you need one, but there are better characters out there that can do that. But just in case you need one, she's gonna be able to help you with that. So for her 35, increase the potency of dispel turns into an AoE, raise number of removed buffs by 2, raise all party members bravery by 80%, of the inflicted bravery damage. So the 35 CP makes her much better. Also, the dispel goes from 30% to 140% potency, so that's a potency of 110%. That is very, very significant. And also, her dispel will become AoE and it will remove up to 3 buffs for each target, so definitely she needs that 35. But again, there are better characters out there, and yeah, I would just go with the other characters. But anyway guys, that is it for this video. Let me know what you think about this banner. If you did pull on the banner, let me know what you got, and I wish you the best of luck with your pulls. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.